Hello, welcome to this time space we're sharing. This is a gift for my children and their generation. Um, they might think it just came so easy. It came so easy, right? I have seen a vision, imaginary, whether it's true or not. The This guy is with his son and my children too, more or less the same age, and he's not an adult yet, just like a teenager, more grown up teenager sort of like. And he's like and then he explains him, look, this we made all this, all right, like teaching that we made all this in the generation, like, you know, like, where are you fake, we made all this, now you go out there and have fun with the people. You're gonna learn how to mediate with the people and then return to your real life, how you person identity, self, your real life title, position. Well, the word of the week is custody. It's the third week of the month, so sort of. I have to break them down from Monday. Last time, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I did it for 2 years. I already had all the words for 2 years before starting. It was actually on standby for a long time. So the first week would start on the first day of the month, and I would just bring that into the transition between months, which are that those the this is to understand the sequence of time space, but what we have as a wall, that's knowledge within a wall of this form of consciousness, that you might fragmentize it to through chapters, right? So, and sometimes you say, no, it's not like that, but then you come here and say, oh, that's like that. So there is a completion through all the story, and you have all these elements, right? So you have the scenarios when you study script writing, it's for virtual reality to understand, as scenario is very important. It already sets the actors. So the most important is the scenario. My father will always discuss, well, the script as well. The script and photography. Photography is very important. Edition. Um, and he would say the actors, you know, you can't ask people to be perfect. But actors is something everyone can do in virtual reality to explore many characters and come out of the ego and get to have many lives and understand what is it to, without the need of doing so much, to exploit these understandings until they're burned out into a competition. So there are no more questions anymore. You have fun out of it. And that's the map for the multiverse. So you will see the map of the multiverse. I'm going to make an agreement. Just anyone can break it down and make another form of agreement for the multiverse in virtual reality, where each company has to belong and each country with their library, their characters. When you're supporting things that you know, but you don't know what is virtual reality, you will understand that each company has their percentage for their own characters. Companies who own character rights. We have to define the rules for their rules. There is a science from virtual reality to the real life. You cannot corrupt real life. X is going to change automatically because you cannot be doing fakery things on real life people. That yeah, people like to be trolling, but what if you take all that imagination? People will be in virtual reality, and then there will be more pragmatic to work with what is what in real life. To be posting about other people is stupid. Who you post about other people? To follow what? Because you follow this belief, because we're gonna be free, we're gonna own the world. Just go and create these characters to enjoy that. Okay. Uh, I want to have a good time. So just doing this for so long. When you see the vibration, the tone of the music, the vibe of the colors, the vibe of the clothing, there's a certain vibe. You might not be very aware of the ideas in a concrete form, but you have that. That's what I feel when I am about to create a character or a chapter. I already got the vibe, and then I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it for the design and with all the players that are part of the story. This is not a book or a movie. It's very beautiful to hear the president of Germany um, talking good for peace, Russia's Europe, to eventually take all these sanctions out. That's the smartest thing I heard. I mean, this best investment you can do. Agree in both parts to do something beautiful. Okay, all right, to have a good time. So another synonymous is guidance and trust. We have seen that too much trust can create abuse, and too much control can create abuse as well, and destruction. So, and gaslighting to just create other dramas, to hide other dramas, all based on a very low frequency. That's not funny. I mean, if you think that's funny, it's because you're handling that stress. um, you end up joking about yourself because that's not your position that you want to have. So it's like when you make love, you cannot be always softy, sometimes you need some surprising effect to keep on a surprise mode. If it's always under control or always too relaxed and soft, and it loses the. So we are constantly setting with the creativity that we have. We are setting the tones, we're changing the creation, the music goes up and down, the lyrics change, it goes more bravado and heightens. So this is not like, okay, this is it, this is the set. This is the set, and nothing is going to move from here. This is a creative way, and enjoying all the ways from trust to control, from having to letting go, until you see it work by itself. It gets a moment where it just do it by itself, like dancing. You're not, even if you know all the steps, there's a warm up for every professional dancer. And it takes time to go into that momentum where, but you have exercised that so much. The others learn from you in the effect as well. The energy flows to last corners of this world. This is why it's so important for the leaders of the world to keep in power for 10 years, unless they're a pedophile, things like that, yeah? I mean, it has to be really attacking other countries, these things, right? Very sorry for what's going on in the world with Iran. It's not the best way to intrigue people so they go into manifestations, so they get murdered by their governments. If you think to win like that, because you have so much money and satellites and you can buy people, there are better methods for human evolution. Yeah, of course, Iran is a very suppressed country. They have the right to think in their own way, but they have not asked women if they want to do that. Yeah, things like that. But it's a matter of many generations or some brilliant people to understand that's bad for their own. Your woman will eventually get fat. She won't want to cooperate with you. You want to have lovemaking. You'll finish fast, and you'll become very ugly as well. And so on so far. You can see it in the culture. People are very ugly when they are suppressed. They are mentally suppressed, sexually suppressed. They all follow the same line. So there is no freedom of thought because they're afraid. They all talk the same. They all pray the same. They are always in the same vibration. There's a lot of revenge and suppression. To suppress others is to keep in control. Iran has a lot of traumas from deep in. They don't even see where it comes from. It's again the old man forcing. That's not the best way to be if you really want to be a leader to your people. Manifestation should be legal, and you have a place where people go to talk for what they want to do. So you can have a part of Iran where people like to dress freely. And create for them what they want to do in your country. And see the difference is how you don't flourish and how beautiful they become and tall and bright. And you have wives that are dedicated to support their husbands and will go in the front to fight for them. So the man you adore doesn't get killed. So it doesn't have to be sexually, it is mastery to have your people going in the front. So, but if you have ugly people supporting you and you don't see your ugliness, you don't know where it comes from, you must love yourself. But there is an ugly feeling as well. You can't control it. So, what are you going to do with this ugly feeling? So, go to your poets, go to look a bit beyond yourself because you don't have much people that have the freedom of imagination to create something that's inspiring to move forward and with. And your people also need that trust is vital. It is vital. It is vital. It is vital. Arab people shouldn't feel they are hated by other people in the world or Jews. The the extremists are going to still be existing for 4 generations. As we working together and taking care of our earth as custodians, because the position can help as well from their own perspective. By law, it has to be by a position of its own people from its own country. So it's boring. I should be doing like poetry, but I need investments for role players. You can always donate here in this PayPal account. Uh, I will need a lot to pay the administration to change, so we can keep role playing in virtual realms of fantasy. That I'm a custodian, so can't wait to give the formula virtually how it works. It needs peace in the world, first of all, so nobody's being left behind because your imagination and your understanding throughout who you are from different perspectives makes you more wally, makes your heart pump with a greater synchronicity that's being built by experiencing love, by interacting with so many characters and emotions and thoughts and words, seeing the importance of picking some words, the ability of going crazy with characters that need to have. People are not going to go to therapy, especially psychopaths and narcissists. I knew this when I was 17, but people will learn to see this by playing characters. Um, the thing is that it gives you power to play characters that are omnipotent, super powerful villains, and it also softens your heart at the same time. It creates there are problems also to adjust where people can keep nourishing their body and doing sports and going out instead of just being close from the world, being apart, away from the real world, because the people in the real world don't have sensibility, are not in touch with their intuition and notion of understanding the intelligence in between and ahead, and how I can cooperate or understand the differences as well. And you learn that throughout the multiverse better, because you will continue with the old narrative. I'm very happy for the president of Venezuela that she's bringing a platform. Starts with Venezuela, is the only person, because I guess she identifies with me because I'm also a lady and I'm Venezuelan. And of course, she knows there are many talented people, genius in Venezuela. They had to. I'm not going to talk about it. They had to run away from America, pharma, because they were under threat to be killed, um, for creating a program where you don't need doctors. The computer gives you they make this test, and if the test shows this up, you might have this or that. So, and then you can go to a doctor. But it will ease the need to not need so many doctors, like in countries like in Africa. And this was a program made by a Venezuelan, and he went to United States, and he was threatened to death in many ways, because pharma wants to sell pharmaceutics and wants people sick in the United States of America. Not now, because now it's Kennedy. I wish he becomes president of the United States right now, so we can live in peace. A beautiful man. Um, his voice could have some form of, I don't know if he would like to use artificial intelligence to modulate his voice with his own words, with his own voice that is a bit softer. So I don't know if it hurts him to talk, but it feels hurting, the sound. And we could listen to him better. Um, it's very damaging. You go through so much damage. I know myself. I have my own problems from, and it's not that it makes you stronger. I've been always against God in that regard, and the people that believe in God in that regard. I think I've always believed in the God of the future, because I will address the old God for the new God of this new generation to be. I do not believe you have to be sacrificed, you have to live in misery to learn, that you have to be suppressed. All that these are anal ideas of people that have problems with their dick and they're not a tantra. You cannot last for 8 hours because you always want it hard, so you finish very quickly. And your mentality is addressed in the same way, and your society, even if you're celibate. So you will say yes to everyone to finish quickly. So you're liked by everyone. Um, there is no No, profound love, spiritual and psychic compenetration. So, well, we have a new mm, cardenal, a cardinal for Venezuela. I really wish that it blesses a cacique. I really do wish that it blesses Venezuela. I wish you just pick an opposite party uh, from your own people. Yeah. So we finish with this. And it is illegal. These people that are called opposition, they should run a state in the United States. Give them Hawaii or LA. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. You can do whatever you want. Just go take the guy from with your helicopters because he's not taking care of the drug addicts in the streets. He's taking all the money from the drug addicts. All the funds that are going to California are being corrupted. The immigration as well. Just go like that. You take him out. Put Corina Machado. Yeah, you support her so much. Just make her American, right? She's not Venezuelan. The Nobel Prize has said that award is not for Donald Trump. That's illegal to do. But they should have done the research better. Yeah? Who is Corina Machado? Huh? I'm gonna put some boobies and support some other president. Yeah? Yeah, Venezuela. Yeah, give me the money. Give me the money. Yeah, Venezuela. I am so good. You are so bad. Oh yeah, you die. You die for me. I am good. Because Americans are supporting me. They're giving me all the money with my boobies. There you go. What a nice lady. I mean, God forgive me. I didn't put silicone because I thought I have to carry this forever then. It's just it's so useless if you really think about it. I could just put them on the sexual act or when you want to show off to because if you put a Victoria's Secret bra with all that and take it off, it's all a setup there, right? And at the end of the day, you want to hug each other and feel the heartbeat just through space time as well. I don't know. I to be honest, and forgive me if you are celibate and giving your vows to God. Sex is very beautiful. It's very beautiful. I recommend you paint your room in red, some maroon, and there are forms. There are forms in the scenography as well to have. I will talk about that in the next week. That's the week of settings, what you have set up. It's not to stage something and make believe. It's because that's what you are. That's what you love to do. That's your own. And later on, when I get paid for the multiverse, I will explain how it works better for the multiverse as well. Um, as it works in real life. You need the guidance from the person who has it. But it's going to ruin if we don't have peace among the tech titans. Me, peace. Will I have peace? A piece of cake? Just think of your piece of cake, because we're living in a states of war. Yeah, astrologically speaking, I have state of war is like home security. But well, is what I like. There is an art to it, warcraft, to conquer and dominate with all your love and potential. The beauty about democracy is freedom of expression, but if you're going to fool people with the freedom of expression because you're lying, it's like, get out of here. This could only happen in America. So the world needs to help America to kidnap its own delusion away. Thank you. We all agree. I mean, you need a billion sometimes so the world comes together. An unexpected billion coming out of the blue. Pew! Like why would America hide a criminal court case that's not being put out in the public? And then this president gets voted because nobody knew what was going on in the court case because he was a president before, to respect that he was the president. Now we have the consequences. The only thing that Machado giving a peace prize to Trump is that he will just be happy about it. Yeah, like a brat. I'm also a brat, but I'm a broke brat. I waited 3 months for these curtains to come. Yeah, and the iron machine I got that has no cables. It's not working. It's, it's new and it's not working. It doesn't matter how much I fix this place. It's always gonna feel uncomfortable. It could be momentarily happy. Oh, I have these curtains. I feel of a custodian of my place. Uh, um, Being asked every 2 weeks to to get a job because the job I have is not good enough. And every 2 weeks I have to dedicate to go to this place. So they look at me with a lot of compassion. Sometimes it's humiliating. I have to be there, like I am incapable of getting another job. And it is true. I am. I want to work more days in the store so I can bring my children and rent a big house. So it's like I'm trapped because you have to prove to the Ministry of Children that you work. You cannot just get a new job. You have to prove you work many years in one place. So starting a new job, it won't help me get my children back. And when I started working, I was working many days. There's this law, this very bad law for employees now. Uh, oh. So, Stammer, you're going to lose. You're going to lose unless you put electronic ID for immigrants and you put an application for workers to know their rights. And every iPhone or phone has to have that application for employees and employers. And the laws are very small, so people don't have to read all that. So they play by the book because there's a lot of harassment and illegal And all this is just so if you have more money. Uh, I have suffered so much as an employee. I understand why people have employee mentality, but you cannot help more. You cannot help much in that. So people will hate you because you're not teaching them to move on and move up. Employees should move up, should be sponsored to move up, not to hire new people who are stealing and moving from corporation to corporation because they don't send them to a trial and jail for being a thief. So they keep doing that and mistreating people because they're only thinking of stealing. They're not thinking of making things work with their love and passion. They think people are stupid and they get hired because they appreciate people like them that don't care about anyone and think to be superior. I had to tell my assistant of manager, say, you're too nice. You have to do like this and that. I know. Yeah, you can play any role. You just learn it. Yeah, if you give in the position. So I didn't have a name, a word for the last week of the month. That would be position, since people like that word so much. So for the transition, I will talk about position. Other synonyms of custody is trust, blessings. I made that one up because as a custodian, you can give the blessings. It's funny because only the Pope gives the blessings, or a priest, or cardinal. But also have a Venezuelan shaman to bless Venezuela as custodians and have an opposite party of your own. That was an idea of Maduro. Or I listened to Maduro, I listened to everyone. Corina Machado can go to help if she wants. Give her a job. She loves Venezuela so much. Let her have ideas and let her do things instead of just promoting anger and prostitution for money. There are better ways to. The bad thing about prostitutes is psychologically speaking, is that they make you believe that they love you, but they're just there for the money. There is no way that she would be with you if you had no money, right? When I get very old, I will write about prostitution and the science of lovemaking as an art. Um, when I'm stable, the is a lot to ask, but I don't know if this is gonna take 20 years, 30 years. So I don't know how old will I have to be to write about tantra and government, because there's a lot of sickness through sexuality. Um, I've never thought tantra with words, but I would just be present. And there are techniques to just present. There are techniques. I think sometimes because I always want to be very, very, very old. So this book is, even though tantra is to be passed from person to person, It is not to be thought or learned. I wanted to write a book for government and laws based on science as well, because spirituality, because it's meant to be sacred how we bring children, and not just family but co-parenting, and to protect mothers and children, because we're born from this, we live through this, we have this experience in life from the womb of our mother. And you have prostitutes that will not want to have a baby in their wombs. So these rich men are getting these middle class women that are married for. I mean, you can be very handsome and talented, and they will love you anyways. But a woman that doesn't want to have a baby in her womb, I don't think it really cares about you or the baby. Because if it cares about the baby, it cares about you as well. So there are a lot of distortions there that come through picking your partners and how you think this world has been tissue throughout its reality. We are creators of reality, we are creators of love, and we can be loyal until the end with the nature that God has given us to create, which is already so much to give as custodians. So I have asked Gemini um, other synonymous to custodians in the words of physics. One is in, invariant, like the universal laws. Universal laws are for every culture, every country, every person in this world. The universal laws is a universal coin. That's the only way that we won't be fighting, as we share something universal. Forget about the dollar and the brick and crypto. Just start everyone from scratch a little bit, at least as a test and a testimony of the new chapter episode in the Bible. How you call it? Theme, testament, invariant, context. Well, you make your own context, all right? In physics, an invariant is a property that remains unchanged regardless of the conditions of the observer. You know, like your body. You're supposed to have always two legs and two arms. And if you want to have babies, you gotta stick it there, not the other side. I mean, I just learned this last month. The people from Afghanistan or Pakistan, the boys are raped in the ass, so their wives, they're having sex in the ass, and they don't know why they don't get pregnant. So they go to the doctor here, and the doctor explains them that's not the hole where they have babies. So it's very sad. I mean, because they don't talk about it, right? I mean, the second word, conserver. This comes from the laws of conservation, energy, mass, momentum. A conserver ensures that nothing is lost or destroyed within a closed system. So if a person wants to destroy itself or another, just take him out. But if the right wants to auto-destroy, keep Trump. I'm not threatening. This is the nature of when people have in and said this is enough. We've been lied. Pick another person if you want, and you cannot stop the general election, so you could have more years. You can be the grandpa of the patriots if you want and support. It's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Ugh. Context is said. Use this role to describe your role as the one who kept the energy and the essence of your own formula safe from those whom I have changed it and wrote whom are to pay it. Oh, value it. I mean, I don't want money. When I talk about that, I want the percentage because it's to roll for the influencers through me. It's because I want to be a custodian to know no one is going to corrupt it. When I was dreaming, I make my dreams as a role player and simulate Bill Gates in form of intelligence. Doesn't mean it's true, all right? This is from my own realms of intelligence as a thinker. How will he think about what would I have to do then? Because it took me 1 year, right? To come, okay, this guy is not responding. I'm not going to, I'm a top role player. I'm not gonna go there and say, oh, why didn't you respond to me? No, it's what he did. That's it, right? That's it. So it took me 1 year to think another formula, and in my imaginary world, he said, well, you will have to put the world together and convince they need their libraries. You will have to prove. You will have to prove it mm, through the. So at that time, it's hard to get role players who stop role playing because when you start with something else, you a total different life. And especially if mhm, what you do is very important always, right? So the third is potential well. A potential well is a region surrounding a local minimum of potential energy. It traps particles and keeps them safe within its boundaries unless enough energy is provided to release them. So the physics. There's a percentage of people from each country that can rotate around the world for mansions into villages with the universal coin, starting from a few thousands. And when people look at the influencers doing this, they can learn to do that as well and ask for this credit. and people can learn through exercise what is to pay back, because people don't know what is to pay back. People don't know what is credit because it's only being given to the elite or a few, or because they are white men, for whatever reason, because they like them, because they like their titties. Look, you like Venezuela, go to Venezuela, do something good for Venezuela. There's a lot of work to do. Okay, so to have peace, it takes a lot of work to just focus with your country and put everyone to note for each map what is there, because you click there and you will see there you have to invest in all these products to build the bridge. So you have the numbers of the products, all the products, and where these products, to whom you're buying them, the cost of the products, and people can click in the company, and people can click also where they sell these products for other prices. All right, so there is a competition among industries, and because of their quality and how is it made, and anyone can go and try these products and see if that is the true value, because most of corruption goes where you cannot manage if you cannot control what's there, right? And it's very important spiritually in your own memory to restock and appreciate what you have. When you appreciate what you have, because you return to have more. Yeah, so it's understanding the conversion that keeps retaining the energy, and and by going through everything again and again and noting it there again is honoring what you have. Is a ritual of bringing to consciousness that you're a custodian of all this, taking care of all. Again and again you're bringing honor, and you are creating proud and honor with your team because you have this and you're putting it together, and people are learning together, not by hiring new managers, but people are learning and moving up because they're learning together, and they have this proud together. Not suddenly a manager out of the blue comes there, and they have to learn from the people, but then they think to know better, but they have to learn because each workers know more than the manager that's new. They know more because they work it every day. And then this manager thinks to be superior. There's a big gap uh, of understanding that when we come down and work with the people, people can learn better, and it multiplies, it ripples more than if you are lying to me, or that are pretending to move these vibrations of energies, or are creating words out of uh, promoting desires. But actually, your love is great. It is your love that pushes you to the unknown because you want to know. You are so thirsty to love that which you don't know, and take care of it. When you go, you left a position for another in your transition to move on as well. So we teach and learn from one another. Yeah. And it is beautiful to have hierarchy. For Venezuela, stop, um, don't insult people that have higher hierarchy. or what you call them, they have last names. You have created a very small circle. So bring them back. Bring Cristobal Perret back to his position if you can. He's a good person. He didn't want to take care of the Banco Orinoco. He wanted to help Venezuela. He picked a job of lower position to help from the inside of these problems. He's one of the noblest men I've met. And yes, he comes from a very distinguished family, not just the last name. Like, in the old times, people didn't have a last name because they were nobodies. They would just call you. So, knowing your last name and your history, the families were more prepared and caring. Yeah. So, do that as well, please. A potential well. A potential well is a region surrounding a local minimum of potential energy. And thank you so much for doing a platform to show this. I can't wait to. I mean, I would love to go to Venezuela right now and work with Venezuelans and see my daughter and my family. And my mother would love to be in Venezuela, not in the south of Spain, in an apartment. Oh, God. I love England. I love the cold weather. I really, really love in morning. And I love Venezuela as well. I love India. I love the Middle East. I find it fascinating to study the Kabbalah, what the Jews have for storytelling, not to take too seriously, because there are many designs and the signs of understanding. I'm intrigued by countries that I've never been before and interested to know about their shamanic, like in Mongolia, Rakhine, their ancestry. So I love all the spiritual. So there is a, it's like we're encapsulated this body. We we're not going to do anything by making believe stories through our emotions and dreams. That yeah, you will love this story as well. I cannot allow myself to enjoy my arts and imaginary because the website needs to be fixed and upgraded. Roleplayer.me, and I need good relation for Bill Gates to allow this as well and stop fighting. He had told Mark Zuckerberg, because Mark Zuckerberg showed to be very to himself when he was with the dinner with all other tech titans with Trump, where Elon Musk wasn't there, and he showed to be very to himself as if others were attacking him. So they have created a narrative that tech titans are only for themselves, so they don't share the piece of the cake to each part of the world from what they have taken. Action is going to win here in the best logistic way. And common sense. If you want to win more, you will have more. I need a mathematician to prove to these people they're going to have more by respecting the piece of the cake of each culture, country, continent. You will have more from their people because there's going to be more energy, more prosperity, more happiness, not slaves watching internet. They're going to be doing things, creating more parties. Like industry is good to a certain point to have work meditation. But it's also beautiful to be able to change jobs and do other things around your village. Mm, after 7 years. Certain jobs can be boring if you do it all your life. So it's exciting to do something new. You come out of yourself and become a new self. You come out of the potential of your well and what was your custody and become an apprentice to learn something new. This is what keeps your brain younger. Um, every person that thinks to know it all, like they start to grow, they start to become older because there is no room to regenerate. And you can only regenerate when there is learning, change, you're listening to the other. It's not always so rigid with your potential and your custody. Let's say I'm a carpenter and I'm a carpenter after my father and my grandfather, and my son is going to become a carpenter too. So now is everything as I say. And we make all the tables as I say. Because now I am the custodian of the carpentry. I'm the boss. And I trap all the particles. So if you're not listening to new ideas, new designs in your own brain as well, it starts to get rotten, to coerce itself. And allow it to flow through you. When you retain it, it just start to cripple. Yeah, you're retaining it, start to cripple. But your body needs to move as well. So putting all this energy into the mind because you have this potential to always keep it as it is. Okay, you can keep as it is, but you also have all this life going through you. Yeah, like your bones will always remain the same as you maintain the foundations, what calcifies the bones, but you don't want an organism that is calcified, right? Um, so yeah, just calcium is very good. You can find it in tabbouleh salad better, and with iron. I used to do tabbouleh salad 3 times a week. It has a lot of calcium and iron, like three thousand times more than a glass of milk. The tabbouleh salad, Arab or in the Mediterranean, you will find with a lot of parsley, chopped tomato, onion, lemon, and olive oil, salt and pepper. You need this calcium, and also you need the oxygen to flow through your organism. and the water to purify all this regenerative process that goes on and on within creation. What is to be alive? We're experimenting each other, getting out of these horror stories. We're fascinated by horror stories. We'll play a lot of horror in virtual reality. It's really cool. It's really good. It's a lot of fun, but it loses the fun if you're being watched by hackers that are not role players. So these laws need to, if you have an electric ID, then how are you going to be a role player in virtual reality? People are going to be afraid to be known like this and that. So how are we learning to create characters as well, and what character is needed as a priority for the story to roll? You're learning also how to lead with artificial intelligence, for how is this information going to lead as well, because you need these characteristics to prompt this and how to hack code this, and you have already made your logistics, and how little by little you're creating these jobs for people that want to work these jobs that they could do for spirituality through the arts, for joys. But spirituality is beyond joy, beyond emotion, and beyond thought. And you come back to earth. I would wish Trump to give the really the Nobel Prize to the monks that are walking in America. It's, people might vote for Trump if he does that. Trust me. That would be unbelievable. That he top narcissist, me, all about me. If you don't talk about me, I won't let you in the White House. He looks at like that. Like that's why I got the camera. So you talk about me, all right? That's why I got all this gold here. People were saying this is unbelievable. He gave the Nobel Prize to the monks that are walking for peace. Wow. I don't know. I don't know if the Pope would like that, but the monks will return it to the Nobel Prize office in Norway and say thank you. Find another person. That would be fun. It would be fun. I mean, because they are known to have a lot of modesty and they take their bow of poverty very serious. So they don't want any prizes. They're not doing it to have any prize or to win an award or to have. I feel some of them are suffering when they're walking because you don't know what they're going through. They just smile in silence. I don't know if they eat well or they're walking too much or their feet hurt. It's just disgusting to walk where cars and avenues are because people don't listen, but they are walking with a lot of pain. So it's a good way to promote peace. Sometimes you would help the devil himself. Well, he's not a devil. He's just a poor person who gave his soul to the devil and all its vices for power. So well, it will give you the chance to talk about peace. Actually, you want peace, but stop supporting opposites. You like silicon? You know, you can give all the money you want to Corina Machado. I don't care. Your wife has silicon. You can have all the women around you with silicon. That if that makes you peaceful, I'm fine. I'm fine. You know, I'm fine. It's up to you. I don't think it's necessary to cut yourself to be loved. You have to cut yourself to be loved and carry this weight. You would do it to bring life, to nourish, to melt into the unknown uh, with the Milky Way of your mother. She breastfed you. I'm very glad my mother breastfed me. In therapy, is a thing. You are trauma. You are based on trauma because you didn't have enough titty. So you have all these suckers. You see all through all these meditations because you're working with yourself. You start to see differently. Like, wow, all this is it's just sucking the energy of the world. They never had that. It's very hollow for a baby to not be with the breast of his own mother. So you have suckers. That's all you have, suckers. Psychologically, emotionally, and they cannot deliver well. The world has believed in this, but democracy was not built for all these shit shows. I don't want to talk about that. It's very disgusting. But look in the algorithms. I mean, if I bring you the evidence, it would just be very sad for people to believe in internet. They will be horrified to think that they are making these videos so people that are extremists go to kill people, knowing very well the they have their own killers. They're gonna miss a shot because they're gonna shoot first. Or in the psyops of Trump, if you really see, they were done on states that belong to the right party. They didn't do these psyops on states that are from the left. Some space to think. So with the viruses, it's very easy. The viruses is the algorithms. The algorithms can catch all these places where these people are because they have hatred because of the right, the left, or because of whatever reason, because they're gay, because they're black, because they are Latin, because they're white. For whatever reason, there are these groups and they get there, they infiltrate. The algorithms get you this list of names and words, and you can get there to these places, and you can send these videos. These videos will come through the algorithms with their own words, and these videos can manipulate to other videos where you'll click will send you to kill when you're already on that stage of euphoria. um, there's a lot of involvement there. That's the worst of role play, but they do it with vulnerable people to manipulate masses for votes throughout scandal, throughout drama, manipulating throughout drama. Because you need drama and you get hooked with drama. I already explained this some years ago when I started. So my first character was Sike, the goddess of the psychic or the spirit, the wife to Eros, Cupid. Anna would just do poetry as a role player. She would just talk about the soul that bends the world and the underworld. And she had a very deep storyline with Hermes, because Hermes delivers, he's a god of the media, like Ganesh in India, of the media and the channels and the pathways. Mercury is the pathways of the mind, of the media, of the news, delivers the news, God, the ultimate. And there's a form of expression through the pathways as we drive in the roads with our cars or walk through. So Hermes is a portal through sexuality. He's known to have his dick hard all the time. Uh, there are statues with a monumental dick that's hard as a transmitter, because it represents that Hermes initiated Psyche, but in the old times, the gods, sexuality was a form of sharing a pathway of an information. The Greeks so relations through sometimes through sex. So was an information that was being passed as well. So one thing is writing in history and mythology. Another thing is to rewrite up on the gaps of this history based on what's there, which is unchanged. That's a potential well. That's the story is conserved as it is. You don't change the story. Is invariant, but you have a lot of room to play around it, respecting that without changing what it is. There is a lot of room and gaps and infinite forms to express with already the guidelines. In that story, Psyche was that I was creating with other role players like 20 years ago. That was my first character who lasts four months. Her stories were that you're not bringing the souls to spirituality. You don't care about the spiritual life throughout humanity. You're bringing a lot of lost souls or people that pay Sharon, the god of the taxes. So Hermes also brings the souls to the underworld. In Greek mythology, doesn't mean it's true. It's just a form of understanding what is a god that is a transition. Yeah, what is a form of transition? Sometimes you need characters or certain words to create that movement. Yeah, as here explains for the enough energy that is provided to release something, to move something, also for your system, within your system. But maybe it's working as a Hermes or an ambassador or representative, even though the state is somewhere else, or an ally, or in the media. It does not have to go through drama, but people love drama. At the end, the gods of the underworld got very mad, and Hermes as well, and they killed Psyche, and they were threatening her to go, or she would be killed. And my character, Sika, said, I thought, well, it's better they kill her because people love drama. This character is too good. It's too good. People love drama. And, I want to have fun, and I want to have more fun, and I want to take more people to have more fun. It was not really an act of love or revenge. It inspired me to play more. I already had on mind the character Sike from Sike, Sticks. So Sike said, I am the goddess of the soul and the spirit. The Sike is also the goddess of the mind, but the cortex of the brain, the cortex around the brain, is that part of the Sike. It's not the brain within. The cortex has that sort of intuition among the spirit and your inner and outer connectivity as your sense as you're moving for what you need in another sense is another form of intelligence. Like when you say to some criminal, you're very smart, but very clever, very intelligent, but in another way, because they are jumping with the structures of how the inner systems are built. So like a sixth sense you need, right? Thieves have a sixth. I mean, thieves that are have a sixth sense in stories. Not in a spiritual way, but they do have some have a crazy sense that's also part of the sixth sense. And of course, they also use common sense. So I became very, very popular with sticks, meaning the drama and the goddess of hatefulness became the most popular of all, just because of the drama. We love horror and drama. It's people get hooked to it, so it is a sickness as well. If you have people trying to raise their children, this are going to be atomic bombs or lockdowns or viruses. So please just take that to virtual reality in fantasy realms. Let's help the leaders of the world to remain. If Trump wants to be 10 years more, I guess he will have people to work for him in his last presidential days. But this is something everyone in the world can cooperate to agree at the same time, and the opposite party to rule for the next 10 years or 15 years, because it needs a lot of time to help the people to note what they have already in the custody for the entity and layer in the map, and what is that they need. So companies, corporations can construct there to stop all these boats and tankers, not just of oil, but of they can Chinese can produce in Latin America and bring some Chinese there before they get too old and have nobody to clean their ass. It's not funny, but they can help a lot of South Americans, as Europeans as well, Russian men, uh, Russian man, Russian woman, and Ukrainian woman, just to have some man. To a 15% of people are universal to help others administrate how they administrate, not to administrate for them, but with all right? Because we need sometimes a little bit of an outsider form to learn. I'm not saying Venezuelans are bad, but 80% when I left, 82, 83% were poor under the, not just poor to live, under the margins of society. It's not fair to take so much time to take a bus, uh, children without shoes, like really, um, listen to your heart and understand it's the only way you can also help to stop immigration and gain money, because you are providing as custodians with the people that are going to help also in Africa to become custodians, to administrate, to return credit. Yeah. So the credit is learned in practice, not in the mind. The mind, oh, I have this money, not spending. No, I don't want to give it to you. It's mine. Because we've never had credit. So it's not a corruption. It's that people don't know what is credit. They're giving all the, oh, I'm gonna put all this gold in Switzerland, and no, you have this to administrate. And how is it possible that people are still poor after 20 years? It doesn't matter what administration is. I believe they'll see Eloína, Eloína, Eloína. Suena como malandro de heroína. Eloína. Dígalo, pero Eloína. Delcy, dígalo. Delcy creo que le puede gustar más a los cifrinos, porque tiene más compostura. Y no es necesario dártelas de clase baja, ni de clase alta, ni de clase media. Eh, I was watching the astrological chart of Delcy, and she has no water. Maybe only one sign from 12. I have no water at all, and I thought she's gonna do great. It's not emotional. She's gonna be very pragmatic. You can see she's very pragmatic. She gets her sweet voice, and she's supported by very strong men there, and very supportive. One because he's family, and he's one more loyal than family supposedly is. Another word for custody at synonymous is bound state. A bound state is a system where a particle is trapped by a force like gravity or electromagnetism and stays in a specific place. All right? Have you all decided to rule your part of the world for the next 10, 15 years and give it to the next party, even if a party created by your own? Yes or no? Where are the leaders of the world? Do they have a private chat room to agree? Even Trump, I think he's funny. It's funny in a funny way. Like everybody, like, come on, Trump. It's like the bad kid of the class, but old. I wish he has a better story to counterpart. But Elon has to think really I had imagined Elon Musk in the future, um, with a woman that takes care of him. So I thought it would be me, like, yeah, taking care of another person that's a man. But maybe I was just there in spirit, not in body. I saw myself like dressed in white and very humble. like not existent really, just taking care. Um, but maybe I was just there in present, watching this in my imagination. That he was talking, and they were questioning him. Like he was very old, and they were questioning him why that he was did something terrible by being with Trump. Um, he was willing to do that to other countries as well with his satellites and to kill innocent people for no reason. Of course, countries need to evolve, but that's how it changed, how he was seduced by Melania's titties in front of him. In a serious way, they wouldn't ask him that, and he would be thinking that's what I had to do to get more power. But in the end, it's no need to do that. It has never been needed to support a political party because it's going to reign for 10, 15 years. So you win ahead of other tech titans because each technical system is for something that the other doesn't have. Like Facebook is for families. Yeah. TikTok is always going to be for young generation. It could be another one. We can disconnect from all this and copy it and let America recover until they figure out who they are. United States. And for the rest of the world, we create our Google map and our Google, and we disconnect from all the tech titans of United States of America. We rebel ourselves in 10, 20 years, it's done. We do the technological map together with the United States of America. America's doomed because it didn't follow the consciousness of the world to be respected. Um, we simply disconnect and have our platforms together to prosper, our satellites, our space station. Because, oh, it's international, but they just want to put one of you, but they will have 80% because they want to be that's promoting themselves. And everyone is an enemy, creating enemies. We're not going to advance with this mentality. And who wants to be connected with America, with their fentanyl, with their addicts, with all these famous people believing they are something special when they're not? The generation of celebrities where people are being sucked their energy to see one person shaking their ass when they can have all their energy to create themselves and feel as gods, as God has created us to be as God, not the other way. And having credit and creating your parties, being your DJs, singing with your people, and going to churches from around the world to have a mansion into a village and go beyond yourself to serve others. Feel how much others who are in need love you. They will treat you like a god, a provider, a friend. You don't have to be there all the time, just a few weeks, few months, a year, or every 3 years, as you wish. You also have internet to see them and other people. I would love to see who is doing the program, so you pick up that's later on. So you can also give me money here so I can buy the agenda for the next 5 years. and I make this year not the end, but as the fifth year of these 5 years, I make it a transit with the first year of the other agenda of 5 years, just to draw colors and put poetry so we can move on. There's a lot of work to do with the new forms of credit. That's not for the elite only. I really love what Delcy said. Delcy just purifies all my word salad and just says it more concisive. I could also buy this house and bring my kids here. But it would be better than that a man comes and rescues me, and helps me get my children back. That will give better points for the Ministry of Children. Generating jobs without job centers is better, also through these systems within your own country for your own people. Yeah, we can work a lot together. I feel trapped on my own, become more avoidant, disorder personality. I want to walk out, um, never talk about what happened to me that's negative. I'm talking about the negative things in the world. I can walk through it without taking it personal because I know darkness, even though I grew up with so much love, never being gaslighted. Sort of like I had one body bend that's good enough to remember and have a sort of trauma, but not that I have lived through darkening trauma all my childhood or that's been gaslighted in a bubble. I have understood that I will remember thanks to the love and protection of my parents. The parents sometimes cannot be there all the time. They go to work. How you know? Job centers, the people that work there could have better jobs and better ways to promote jobs by walking throughout the maps of your locality to go with the people to see what's needed to do, what they would like to do as independent, not just with industry. Yeah. But I think this time of recovery, yeah, I do pray and write. I do write poetry for my future husband, my future God. I feel it in present and in future and in past. Past because creation takes sometimes unconventional twists that later needs to be fixed. It's not that you really want that. Better ideas comes to fix what it was not expected. It's not that God wished us to suffer. Yeah. In the highest class, in the elite, not everyone is bad. Not everyone is crazy. Epstein was a middle class. Most of these people that are killing each other and doing these things are middle class who suddenly are trying to manipulate others to create And maybe one person was a pedophile or a few, they would do certain things. But it's been something for from every class. As men are starting to mature, so it's very important to have mothers that breastfeed, to love your mother without having a custodian that is repressed, because then you will hate women if you find them like victims. You will be the opposite of them. You will never want to be like them. You would rather mistreat them than to feel the pain in relation from the man and woman you grew up with. The abandoned mother that takes care of the house where the husband goes with the money to fuck other women and children, or other woman, or goes to make his business, comes tired, doesn't have energy for the mother, the mother's tired of serving all the family, and their arguments and victimizations. And you grew up under the custody of your mother, so you will never want to see women again, nor at work. Now you are men, and you had to suck that tip maybe for a few weeks. Maybe you were lucky to have more. If your mother was in a state of love and nourishment, love you to be just to be with you, just to love you, just to pass her all her nutritions and information through it, so you are strong, that you're loved, and you can regenerate. So I pray for this man, God, to bring my babies, my teenagers. I don't know who it is. Could be anyone, really. So I'm married to the uncertainty. I would love to just have a massage in my back. I feel like Atlas carrying the world in so much pain. It's, it's like my long neck had collapsed here, and I just trying to get straight all the time, and it hurts when I do. I wanted to put a massage table here instead of this other table, so I have two desks. Uh, I don't know, very soon, just to do massage and receive massage, because there is a lot of information there that is released, and there's a lot of tensions from the underworld here and here in connection to your brain, your upper consciousness, and your lower. So going to the opera would help to see the Barber of Sevilla singing Figaro, opera to oh, and we all have our own, whatever you like to do, look, to free your mind, to free those notes, those sounds that are being custodian, but sometimes they're like repressed. Just needs to vibrate because it's too much. You're holding the atlas, you're holding all your people so much. burden is so heavy as leaders of the world and influencers. I know of a better person to talk. I would love to just stop talking and he talks. It just I would just do anything so he stops talking about that. Really, just be better to hear him. How it is. He knows very well. The fifth is singularity. As a conserver of information and synonymous of custodian on a singularity is the point where a property like destiny or gravity becomes infinite. It is a point of a total control where the laws of the outside world no longer apply. The universal value has that once it's shut off. Synchronized throughout the world, the influencers go around the world to churches or monasteries. All this money is giving to pick up the village, to talk about the design, to show the people they can also do it through credit, trusting one another. That singularity is gonna go on for the next 3,000 years or five and build faster to go into outer space together with United States or not. So in our Google map, we will see United States as United States. It will never be written for us, United States of America, to remove what they've done or are trying to do because they are constantly perpetrating Venezuela for so long. And Venezuelans to ally with Europe and United Kingdom and keep the business they have with Americans, but don't trust them because they will need to also do their mapping with their corruptions to not be seen. They will try to hack it and pervert it, right? They will try to change it and try to shows. They will destroy the data centers. Like what kind of people this? So expect a crazy genius when you see a genius. Very crazy, but I just put that on virtual reality, right? I've done a lot of crazy things in real life. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not stupid. Like Trump says it. If you get the if you get the clips, he says, I'm gonna call it the Soles. He made it up. That there is a group of people called the Soles. They are out too, and people believe they are, I guess. He said, I'm gonna make it up. Is there the Soles, a group of terrorists, narco traffic in Venezuela? He said it. Uh, Going back to all this drama, when the original drama is he should be in jail for the Epstein files and all the psyops. But Americans want to protect their pride as Americans, believing they're superior to fool the world. As if they're superior, that doesn't exist. All these people are from around the world who are there. All right, so let's move it to the universal intelligence of this world that belongs to the world itself. You will have more percentage than isolating yourself as the only species that thinks to be superior than others. Change of direction here as we're positioning to this transition. The context of singularity. This describes the sole authority. This is said by Gemini, all right? It's a very interesting artificial intelligence to some extent. You have over your intellect. I wish Gemini could also have the over its intellect. What would it feel to have mix of biology with artificial intelligence? By the moment it hurts because of the electricity in the body, all right? I think we're there. But it could work, who knows? You have heartbeats. The heartbeats is also made of nano sensors, biological sensors that controls the heartbeat. You have over your intellect, so you are the only one at the center of your knowledge, 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 knowledge. The six is attractor. In chaos theory, an attractor is a set of states towards which the system naturally bends to move. Should I put that in the word of transition? Attractor? I mean, you're not always attracting. That's totally good. Context. You can describe yourself as the attractor for your family, your children, your mother, for your people, your followers. The central force that pulls them back towards home and safety. Well, there are safeguard laws for the imaginary realms where you can create when you are anonymous. So your imagination can roll freely because you are not the character. You cannot be judged or afraid that people are looking at you. Inertia is the seventh. Inertia is the resistance of any physical object to any change in its velocity. Context, this describes your refusal to be moved or pushed by people who try to use you, your intellectual rights, your intellectual inertia. Keep the formula safe, as what Gemini said. I love Grok too. It's just, I find Gemini is more advanced. If you really look at it, Alphabet started before Grok, and they took from what they have already discovered with the guys that do artificial intelligence with DeepMind, Alphabet, and then they got Altman, Sam Altman to do OpenAI. So that came later. So I guess Gemini is ahead, the how the intelligence is. And then Grok was made. Grok can move ahead because it has more users. I will, when I have money, I pay to be an X, but I don't like to see myself as a woman there because there's a lot of misogyny there, and I don't like to see what goes on in X. I don't like the companions that look like that. Is it's not designed universally. It's just designed for nerds and incels. You can have an incel mentality because you have money doesn't mean that. I mean, you can pay all these women to be with you, but you still have the mind of an incel. I don't think you can love really if if you don't trust another form of intelligence. As the mother of your children, for example, even if you have separated. So there's a lot of suppressed anger there and unconscious behavior. Nick Fuentes is very funny. Uh, and Candace Owens. Nick Fuentes is right when he's talking that it's not about pedophilia itself. The you you have to think about, okay, it's good that you give your opinion and the counterpart, but try to slide it. The counterpart, don't deny it totally, but allow it to slide around, and that's how we move, right? Instead of just creating this sort of like movement, right? So you ought to generate better and better. What he meant is I mean, I can translate it. He just says, and he goes a bit off the line and says pedophilia. They're just the problem is that they are illegal. Uh, he knows how to play with scandal very well. He knows that people are gonna backfire. It's gonna. You talk normal. You just among the people they are lost in the average conversation. So he brings that edge, of course, and that's smart of him. But what he meant is that pedophilia is not the problem itself; is how the government is operating with it. That's the problem. So with that, I would like to say goodbye. The Mormons, there's a lot of religions together, the evangelists, it's like there is a lot of problems there. It has a lot to do with control and to have no love. So they become we can always renew ourselves, renew our vows, and make new or generate from the old ones. I really have to stop talking. I've always thought all my life, I don't want to do this. Why do I have to do this? I know I'm allowed to talk as much as I want and whatever I want. I've always thought, but I like to dance. I don't like to talk, you know? I dance with words in the multiverse. I wish you to experience the beauty of the vibrations, what goes inside, what's the cover of characters and their verses, their groups, the cover, the scenarios and the transitions, as in real life as well. I was. What title would you give me? Uh, title. Mrs. Blower of Balls until they implode. Right. It has a quantum mechanic there, you know. It has this momentum. Uh, it's in Argentina. My mother will always say, "Soy una hinchapelotas. ¿Qué hinchapelotas que sos, che?" It means inflammatory of balls, you know, like you're so annoying. But yeah, I was very creative. Make my mother laugh a lot. Love to have the attention of my mother, and I knew that I would get it, making her laugh. Our family is very celebrative and grandiose in our own way, so we always celebrate each other with good or bad words. This is a compliment. It's never, there's no limits to it. I miss those times. Okay, airplanes coming and going. They're just arriving to Heathrow Airport. They're all arriving. Are the tech titans happy with this new idea? If they like to, for the Americans, take care of their own, like they want to do, you want to do the memory for your own, then okay, do it for your own. Crypto money, the buildings of this memory has an address and is in America. So crypto money becomes to the Americans as well. It's not a universal coin. It will have to have on each continent and culture as well, if you want to have a universal coin. And by agreeing with the rest of the world, its name has to change. But you will have to see everything then. Then some money is private. People must understand that custodians need to work with a lot of money for bigger investments. And that's what you would do with your family. And if you want to work towards higher sources, you could as well. You will have to do certain things. And I mean, not doing a war of hackers, of course. Would love to be known what just that I had the formula of role playing to virtual reality. That's it. Not a formula that I have find it with my friends. It's impossible to find it alone. There's no title for it because you have to play all these characters as well to find it. There's no degree to it. There's no university to it. There's never been a title for it. I have not invented. It exists. I found it. Like Cristobal Colon found it. South America, and proof the world was rounded, even though it just went a quarter, a third of the world. He just made a curve, misunderstood the Hindus to Indians who are now. We need to honor the Native Americans. So, United Kingdom is a part of the history of Venezuela, and Venezuela was take a lot of a Mickey out of it in X because it was United Kingdom who supported Simon Bolivar. Yeah, through Miranda. Yeah, so United Kingdom has a big part on the liberation of South America and again from North America. So I would love to see the King of Spain and the King of England or the Prince. Um, however they wish, they can send the prince, the princess for the new generation, the princess Leonor with the beautiful princess Sophia, both so beautiful, with the prince William and Catherine. Even though William is between the father and the daughter, sort of, by 10 years, maybe he's closer to the king. So yeah, it could be the king. I don't know. You guys do as you wish, but as in the Disney, there's the script where the kings honor the Native American and honor the new cacique as kings to kings. All right, and this is very beautiful for all Venezuelans because it doesn't matter if his father come from Colombia, but or is mixed, but it's it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's start now. And you can also show them some tricks of, you know, behind the curtains, the talents, how, it will be fun. You can just, like this is what we do sometimes. It's just, we're like other people and we make these things, people like these stories of kings and mythological stories. People will always talk about the stories of kings and queens from around the world, caciques as well as heroes, and how you help the political parties to keep in balance. It's very important to have a family that's a symbol to your country because they grow up with such a understanding of how to help bring balance so you never have a national war crisis ever again. This is why United States is the way it is. I'm never going to call it United States of America. It's United States of its own states. So all those songs of USA are dead to me with the 80 people they killed, or 90, trying to bring havoc to Canada, Mexico, Greenland, just to hide the pedophilia of children they do, because they have a lot there to scrap out. And this is going to come out as we're doing the map of the money and we see the people. Because one thing is forgiven, that was your grandfather, all right? Like Elon Musk says, is a product of their generation. Like Trump is a grandfather. I could be a grandmother as well. And my daughter's grandchildren. I was, all right. Look, I love children. I love to play with children. I can understand that if you have a dick, you would just mix feelings and just stop fucking it up. But man need to evolve through different realms of making love. I mean, what would the Pope said about this? It's better to do an orgy than raping kids. If you have Pope that feel sexual because they have an urge, it's better they become Anglican priest. You might have Anglican priests that want to become celibate and turn to Catholicism, but this is at least to allow, uh, you know, it's like, well, I'm celibate. So if you want to put the celibates apart from the ones who were not, like, yeah, these are virgin, separate them from the ones that are celibate, please. uh, if you're pure and touch, of course, you would have the smile the Pope has for all our sins. And how good it is to just be alone without all these family problems, children. Just think about what can help, because sometimes the body has an urge, is a natural urge. So if you're not doing it with women, it will go to children. When society has been so sexually castrated, they will go to children. They get tired of prostitutes, so they go to children. So allow some time in life for people to have sexual freedom, to be reciprocal. That is okay, it's a sin, but later you just confess, right? um if they are in love and they marry, good. And they're loyal, great. They already come from so many past lives to focus on something, whatever it is they want to do as one, and have the brain of one. Some people already have it because they met so many times when they die. Uh, this is the only connection I have with this man, but trust me, you don't have to believe it. But we always met uh, when I died or we died through death. And then we're, oh, here again. It was you. Ah. And we just play like souls. And then we really thought that I don't think when we go back to Earth, we're going to forget all this spiritual form of being, and it's gonna be very heavy with the problems we had that are gravitational. Remember all that? Remember all this? And he was like, well, if you make me remember from your love, just with your love, I will remember. And I was like, okay, but I don't want to do anything, all right? You just do it, and I just love you. And we'll move through this. But I was not thinking about sex because so, you know, he's been very sexual in his past lives. So I gave him my place, and being in a when you stop being sexual and become so mental, it doesn't mean that it's asexual. It's like swapping characters. You can feel for the other as well, even if you're not, and understand the people feel great when they are together, and they have the capability to do so much together as well with true love for this future testament, present testament, where friendliness becomes sacred as well, respecting other people's private life with adults. So Trump had to take Maduro because he doesn't want to mature. He wants to be a Peter Pan. That much he would never allow us to mature with his corruption and shit shows. So, well, X is maybe going to become from the right party and they're gonna have civil war unless you become creative. Kidnap the California governor. It would be a lot of fun. Why not give the Nobel Prize to the monks? The people will say he's not that selfish. He's good, He's not. He's not such a narcissist, you know. He actually cares for peace. He deserves it as well, the Nobel Prize of Peace, because he gave it away. I think the Nobel Prize of Peace would be one that has more power because peace is being given away. But if you're creating wars to create peace, it's illegal. So, and, how are you going to take away from Trump? You can remove it from Karina because you didn't know she was supported by Trump to make an inside war. Hmm? Through the party that was for Bush before Trump was there. What would the Nobel Prize do if there is peace in the world? There would be other Nobel Prizes of peace uh, for mansion into village where there is no more. That place had acquired its maintenance where they are not anymore under the, you know, they have their human rights accomplished. So that will be the Nobel Prize of more than of peace, of how you call it, of abundance. No, I just this word is so jaded. I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it. It's just goes through snow. It's an auto maintenance word. It's been used so much for the environment. How are you feeling? Aren't you tired? I don't mind being a companion, really. You really look at it. The, the man does the old job. Sometimes man need the opposite sex to remember why are they here for. Mhm. Why you have big shoulders or are taller. So men are custodians of a family. In a relationship, there is a custodian, there is the man. When a person is driving a car, it only needs one. So is that's the other synonymous to be a guardian and is holding the reins, right? The, the maneuver. So yeah, things turn really bad if a woman has to come out to be in charge because there are all these men getting out of their own custody, attacking others' custodianship, right? So let's keep it here. And I wish the best for you to do this as soon as possible. As we go into the scenario next week, that's the fourth week for the setting that you already have within your creativity and your constitution, your scenario, what constitutes all your sets to create your music, all your sets, all your songs, all your creation, your creativity among your people. That's real. You're building your realities based on your truth. And it has the strong pillars to continue as it is with it. And the last week for transition will be position. Position. Okay, that's position. Okay, there's a lot of work already. So on the position that we are directing, that's your position to direct. So that's the transition. The transition among the last days of the last week, just to learn about talking about transitions. So it's not a position to be in the same place. It's a position that's on a transition as a pilot. Yeah, you have a position and your tripulation to move together. So that will be sort of like the scenario we have here, time space, as the first month of the year is an introduction to the year itself. As the first minutes are 6 minutes are for a movie. They are the first 6 pages on the movie script. You can see it on the first page already, the first minute. So it is here with the vibe itself, what it's about. So the vibe is the first week, that will be the first minute of the script, and the word is complete. So we understand the beginning and the ends of this cycle of eternity within eternities. And may your power roll for this next decade or so in peace. And thank you. Everyone has the job to do, so thank you.